is
Mr. Bhaskar, you must respond to that. And the most crucial point which is being made, which you haven't responded to, is about medical advances. What was not possible 30 years ago is possible now. Dr. Bagai makes the point again and again that the speed at which medicine is developing, maybe somebody can't be cured now, but 3 years later he can.
I'll just add one basic point.
Let me explain.
Dr. Bhaskar, just sorry to intervene. When you say it's killing to prevent pain, in fact, it's quicker giving a lethal dose of an injection, which in any case is morally and ethically and legally and medically wrong, versus taking off a particular support to a patient, let's say IV fluids or nutrition. And I think the most painful death then for a patient would be out of dehydration and starvation. The second point which I would like to make is that what we are seeing in 2011, we would not be seeing in terms of medical science in 2012, because it would have moved light years ahead. Let us not play a judgment chair game. Let us not decide and waste time of our legal experts on things which are actually going to be detrimental for our society.
Okay, Mr. Bhaskar, respond to the point about medical advances and the possibility of somebody being cured who can't be cured today.
If medical advances were the answer, abortion should not have been allowed. That's a classic example, one single instance where the medical profession, the legal profession, both came together and arrived at a norm.
No, but there is no comparison. Dr. Bhaskar, there is no comparison. Regenerative surgery and several other things that have been developed over the past few years didn't even exist in the realm of possibility.
Please remember, in the past few years, let me give you a very good example of a case of Terry Schiavo. When she went into what is known as persistent vegetative state, her husband wanted her relieved, her parents did not want her to be relieved. The court ruled that her tubes, her feeding tubes could be taken out. Another court said no. It went back to a higher court, it said yes. President Bush came in and said no, and he blocked that entire judgment, and finally the court said yes, the tubes can be removed, and she was allowed to pass away. The fact is that for 37 years, Aruna Shanbaug's case has not improved at all. If it has not improved, there is a case where passive euthanasia can be exercised under certain conditions which the courts and the medical professions must come together and arrive at. If it does not, it leads to more complications. Let me give you another example. Most places, and doctors don't talk about it, when a family has a person as a patient who cannot be treated in hospitals, the doctors privately tell the patient. Publicly they cannot, because it's legally wrong, that we cannot do anything. Take the patient home, let the patient lead the last moments at his house. Medicine can't help him. Doctors do that. On the other hand, you have patients who come to the hospital, doctors want them to be put on artificial life support systems because doctors earn a lot of money.
Dr. Shetty, you want to respond to that?
The only way.
That's a controversial point that Dr. Bhaskar is making.
One second. And then the only way left for the patient is to tell the doctor, I cannot pay, you want to keep the patient in the hospital, do it at your expense, and he walks away. Then the doctor says, okay, fine, take him home.